Why did you choose to become a part of Ceasefire?
Well, I chose to become a part of ceasefire because uh, I want to make a big difference in trying to, reduce violence in the city of Chicago. Since I grew up in Chicago,
Yeah.
and I grew up in the projects, heavily on the projects, and just saw a lot of violence. Witnessed a lot of violence growing up, and I got tired of seeing these young guys killing one another.
Yeah. And next question. What do you do at Ceasefire to help prevent gang violence or just kids joining gangs in the long run?
Well, what we do at ceasefire, the violence interrupters mediate conflicts between the highest risk, young men and women on a daily basis. And then the outreach workers work with them on a continued basis, throughout the year, helping them change the way their outlook and behaviors associated with violence. Because it takes time to work with individuals. A lot of people are not ready to enter the mainstream yet. So what they do is they work with them and try to deprogram them and re-educate them that violence can be is learned behavior, and you can unlearn violent behavior.
Oh, okay. And what would you say what do you say draws kids to gangs the most?
Say that again.
What draws kids to gangs? Just what would you say was?
What draws kids to gangs?
Yeah, what's the biggest pull from?
Well, the biggest pull is that the false sense of excitement.
Yeah.
The false sense that something is really going on, and like they get the women, the money, the cars, but in reality they get hard time in jail. Nobody sends them any money down once they get locked up. And a lot of them guys do not have cars and all the accessories that go along with it. So there's a false hype out there about the gang lifestyle.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what draws them, though. But then you got guys that come from, fatherless homes, no role models in the family in some cases. And it's just that lure, the lure that, some people look for something else on the other side of the rainbow.
Yeah, yeah.
You have a rainbow in your house with your mother and father, you're doing good, but you think it's something else on the other side of the rainbow, not really looking at the fact that you have a rainbow already. That's your life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have any? What other alternatives do they have really if they do come from those types of homes?
We'll say that again.
What good alternatives are there to gangs that they?
Well, the other options are to get connected to some mentors in the community, get connected to go to school, do the best you can, because a lot of people come from humble beginnings. That does not mean you have to join a gang. Do your best to try to stay around positive people, because if you stay around negative people, eventually you're going to turn negative. And that's what we talk about when we say violence is learned behavior, because people do what they see other people around them doing.
Yeah, yeah.
So if you see people doing positive things, 9 times out of 10, you're going to do something positive.
Okay. And then are there any organizations that are working to involve children in neighborhood co-curriculars to help stay away from gang temptations or the lures of gangs?
You got organizations out there working, like the BUILD organization, the YMCA Street Intervention Program, and you got safety networks and neighborhood recovery initiative. A lot of people doing good work in the community.
Yeah. Do you have any stories regarding gang violence that stick out to you that you would like to share with us that would help us further understand?
I feel, Ceasefire, we organized from January to the end of April of this year. We organized 2 peace summits, which turned out pretty good. The young guys agreed to work together and stop the violence amongst one another. And we're working with about 677 high-risk individuals on a regular basis. And the violence interrupters have mediated about a good 275 conflicts already this year that could have led to somebody getting shot or injured in some kind of shot or killed. And most important, we mediated a conflict on the west side of Chicago where a guy had been taken, believe it or not, this is what happened. This is interpersonal violence. A guy was stealing the morphine of his critically ill wife, selling the morphine in the community because he had a drug habit, okay? Her sons found out, so they tried to shoot him and take his life. When they found out, but they missed him, and they were shooting at him, so he ran to the ceasefire office, and we got a chance to talk to him and find out what was going on. So as an end result, We worked it out. He returned the morphine to the house, and we were able to save the life of this guy. But he couldn't return back home because those were his stepsons.
Yeah.
And their mother was critically ill. He's telling the morphine. What was he really thinking? And so they said, look, he can't come back here. I don't care what happens to him from this point on, but he's no longer affiliated with our family. So, yeah, we saved his life, in other words.
Wow. All right,
That was amazing. Something stopped it on the front end.
Well, Mr. Hardiman, thank you so much for your time, and thank you so much for answering all of our questions.
No problem.
All right, thank you. Bye.